So, working on a mill out of a tub grinder, just building it up because it's all worn down from the natural life of a tub grinder. I'll make more videos about this. But in a customer's shop, and they have a Lincoln Ranger 225 GXT that they bought to use just as a generator, actually. And they did one job with it about a year ago. And it's been sitting around ever since. And basically, I just feel bad for the poor bastard. So I brought out some adapters here and put my adapters on there, and figured I'd use this thing just to get some fuel burning through it and everything, so it doesn't just sit around and rot into the ground. Because, you know, I mean, it's a brand new welder just sitting there. But I figured no better time than right now to do a sound comparison between my Trailblazer 325 and that Ranger. So I've had my Trailblazer for almost exactly a year now, and I am so incredibly spoiled already. The thing is absolutely wonderful. I freaking love it. I've got just shy of 400 hours on it. When I hit 400 hours, I'll kind of talk about that a little more. But like I said, this is just about sound, not how it welds or nothing like that. And we'll crank them each up, burn a couple rods each, and you can kind of hear how they sound. My phone is approximately halfway in between the two welders. If anything, it's a couple feet closer to my Trailblazer. So if anything, the Trailblazer is going to sound a little bit louder. And I won't talk during this because it's about sound of the welders. And suppose I should say that I'm using 1/8 inch Lincoln 532, or the fuck, 1/8 inch Lincoln 5P plus 6010. And if it looks like it's welding like shit, it's because it is. The discs here are two pieces, like there's a, you know, left side and a right side, and there's actually oil and shit in between here, so I grooved it out and putting 6010 in there to try and deal with the contamination as best as possible. But like I said, 1/8 inch Lincoln 5P plus 6010. My Trailblazer was at 110 amps and all the way stiff on the arc control. I will hook up the leads to the Ranger and show you what that's set at. I know I stumble over my words all the time, but, you know, hey, words are hard. Don't judge me. So, the second setting here, about right on 8, and from what I remember, it was a wee bit cold. I don't have a, you know, amp clamp to put on here, but probably in the same range. And DC positive. The red for me, in this case, is positive, but I always put this on my Stinger. I forgot they rev up like that when you switch them off. So obviously you can hear quite a bit of a difference in the sound there. Obviously a Trailblazer 325 versus a Ranger 250 is not really apples and apples. It'd be closer if I had access to like a Ranger 305 or whatever, but I don't. This is what's sitting here. But even a Ranger 305 would be exactly just like this, in the sense that as soon as you strike an arc, it just revs for the moon and stays there the entire time you're welding. Whereas the Trailblazer, light off the rod and it only revs as much as it needs to, which in this case was 110 amps. I would imagine that as you start pushing both of them higher amperage, that the sound difference would become less between the two of them. But hopefully it comes across on video. The Ranger is just louder. It actually sounds really good though. It's got like a really kind of like deep burly sound to it. Sounds like you put like a Flowmaster muffler on it or something. And we're inside of a building, granted insulated wood frame building, but inside nonetheless. So they'd be quieter outside, mounted on a truck. And obviously the Ranger there is, sitting on a pallet on the floor where my Trailblazer is sitting on top of the service truck. But yeah, it's kind of neat, kind of sounds burly and mean. It's kind of fun for playing around with it like this, but I sure wouldn't want to listen to it all day. I sure have gotten spoiled for my Trailblazer. There's no doubt about that. Anyways, that's all.